All right then, Arsenal preview. More injuries that we have to deal with. Ten are confirmed in the press conference. There is a few players that have returned, but it's Arsenal at Old Trafford. And normally this is the game that we have confidence for because Arsenal do not have a very good record at Old Trafford. But this is a different Arsenal team that we're going to be facing. It is an Arsenal team that is going for the league, and they certainly seem unbeatable in the league, at least at this moment in time. And to be honest, we might have lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace, and that was a heartbreaking game, in my opinion. But Arsenal could hit us for more than that. They are a much, much better team than Crystal Palace. What does Ten Hag have up his sleeve? What type of performance are we going to see from Manchester United? This isn't a preview that fills me with a lot of excitement and hope, to be honest. It is one of those previews where you just kind of don't want to do it. Let's be real. It's difficult having to do something knowing that you're probably going to get a similar type of performance where these players just show that they don't care. Most of these players are not going to be here next season. The talks of a fire sale is going to happen in the summer. It's very vague to see if that is going to happen. It is one of the craziest things to take note of that Manchester United could easily finish in ninth position. We could easily have the worst season since way before Sir Alex. Does Ten Hag survive until next season? We don't know. There are so many managers that are linked to us, and whether you want to call it propaganda, whether you want to call it the media being toxic and negative towards Man United, it's the same thing. Every season we have to deal with the moment a manager has a bad stint, all of a sudden new managers start getting linked to Man United. I am tired of it. And the leaks that come from the players saying that dressing room is miserable, these are things that are just noise that adds on the pressure of these players, on Ten Hag, on Manchester United. And it's clear to see that some of the players cannot handle the pressure. That is why we have such collapses in football matches. That is why certain players can't go for a full 90 minutes or more because of a lack of wanting to do so. Against a team like Arsenal, who are going to come with everything at us because they cannot draw or lose. They need to win. And if we win, if we draw and we give Man City a title again, it's painful, but it's not our business. We still need to focus on ourselves. We still need to ensure that we are having a good performance, especially at Old Trafford. We have to show something. We can't be lackadaisical, lazy, lethargic, not showing any effort, not choosing to fight for second balls, not making runs, not pressing, not tackling, not closing down. We can't have this because against Arsenal they could knock us for 5, 6, 7. It's possible. It's a reality. And that is the sad reality of Manchester United right now. I don't like it. You don't like it, but it is the way it is right now. And it's sad to see because we literally give our everything to support the team. Look at the away support at Crystal Palace at the end of the game. A 4-0 loss, but they were still singing their hearts out supporting Manchester United. Some of these players don't deserve that type of recognition and applause and singing from the fans. They don't show that they deserve it. You see the likes of Anthony holding his mouth, speaking aggressively to the likes of Mason Mount. Why do we have this? We shouldn't be having this. There should be some type of harmony within the team. But of course, that hasn't been the case for years at Manchester United, has it? That is why we needed change in the background. That is why Sir Jim is doing his work in the background with Ineos and completely rebranding Manchester United, starting from scratch, building a new Manchester United, one that he and us as fans can be proud of again. Because right now, I struggle to be proud of my team. And I can see there are certain players who are pushing and fighting, but there are those, majority of them are certainly not doing the best that they can do. And it's either because they know they're leaving at the end of the season, they know that their contract is up, they know that they are probably up for sale, you know. So they just choose not to care. And they couldn't care if Man United is not in Europe next season. They couldn't care if Ten Hag gets sacked because they are not going to be here. Now, in Ten Hag's press conference, he said that Bruno, McTominay, and Rashford all have returned to training. Martinez as well. But Martinez won't make it for the squad because it's kind of too early for him. And I think that's a very good decision by Ten Hag and the club because we can't be rushing our best players back. Let's rather have him rest, get into a good match rhythm and match fitness, and then he can start for us in the FA Cup final where we would probably need him the most rather than these couple games that we have, which are Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton to finish off the Premier League season. But Bruno, McTominay, and Rashford coming back, it is a bit of a boost, but it's not a boost to a point that we would say, okay, we can go at Arsenal and take them on. No, because the team that's going to start is probably going to be Onana in goal. I would want Wan-Bissaka right back, but I think Ten Hag is going to play him left back again simply because of Bukayo Saka. Wan-Bissaka is not comfortable on the left-hand side, but Ten Hag is going to put him there simply because of the threat that Bukayo Saka has. He's going to probably play Evans and Casemiro because there's nobody else. He's not going to start one of the under-18s or under-21s that have played and played well this season for them into a team and start against Arsenal, top of the log. No, I don't think so. It's probably going to be Casemiro and Evans because Maguire is not back yet. Varane is not back yet. Shaw is still out. And Martinez, it's too early for him. So it'll probably be Casemiro and Evans. In midfield, it's probably going to be Mainu, McTominay, and Bruno again because who else are you going to play? You ain't going to play Eriksen because he's going to be outmuscled by Partey and Declan Rice. And of course, Odegaard is going to move way too quick for him. You can't start Mason Mount because he's injured again. You start Amrabat next to Mainu. It's something you can try, but I don't think Ten Hag is going to do that. So it probably will be McTominay. It will be Mainu and Bruno, of course, in the 10 because he's back in training and will return to the team. And of course, I think Rashford will start because Garnacho seems a bit tired and I think he will probably come from the bench. So Rashford will probably come in and start on the left-hand side. Anthony will start on the right-hand side. Regardless of how he performs, I'm sure Ten Hag will play him. And up front, of course, Højlund will be our one and only option that we have there. How we approach this game, we certainly have to defend from deep. We certainly have to close down spaces. We have to follow runners. We have to be aggressive. We have to be in their faces. But that's all things that I can say. It's all things that Ten Hag wants and expects, but it's probably not going to happen. So no matter how this game turns out, we have to keep our heads high and we have to just hope that Manchester United and the players are going to turn up, that they are going to put in a good performance that we can be proud of. And like I said earlier on, if it does give City a title again, then we'll have to just deal with that. We have not been the Manchester United that we should be. And it's going to take time for us to get back to the top, competing consistently every single season again, like we have done in the time of Sir Alex and before. So we just need to be strong as Manchester United supporters and go through this little muddy waters, as they say. But some of these players need to leave after the season is done, and we need to get new players in with better mentalities, winning mentalities, and the background certainly needs to come into its fruition, and then only then will we see change. It's not going to happen overnight. It won't happen probably by next season, but we have to stick it out and we have to see what decisions are being made for the benefit of Manchester United. Sir Jim says he wants to knock City and Liverpool off their perch. That is an oath that he made in an interview. So we'll have to just hold him to it if that is not the case, because he will need to ensure that that is the case because he said so. But I thank you for joining me. Drop a like if you haven't done so. It does help the channel. Subscribe as well, please. And of course, till we see each other again soon, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the game, no matter how it turns out. Glory, glory, Man United as always. Till we see each other again soon, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.